Exacto Guru here, and I'm sorry, but today's video may be a bit heavy for some. However, this is a topic that I've dealt with my whole life, and something I feel the need to discuss. I hope you'll bear with me. If you didn't read the disclaimer, you may want to mute the video now. I won't be offended. Alcoholism is a disease. This is a phrase I grew up hearing my whole life. As an adult, I've come to the stance that addiction is likely a dysfunction of the reward center of the brain, at both a chemical and structural level due to the genetics involved. Though I do see certain societal problems with calling alcoholism a disease, and to really discuss those, I feel the need to touch briefly on the sordid history behind AA. The idea originated with Dr. Benjamin Rush in the mid-1800s as he founded the temperance movement, which slowly gained popularity until the early 1900s, with prohibitionists marching onto the scene. Prior to Dr. Rush's concept, drunkenness was not socially viewed as the cause of crime and violence. Rather, it was seen as an indicator that someone was inclined to engage in such activity. The modern concept of alcoholism as disease began with AA member Marty Mann and the charlatan E.M. Jelinek. This was largely built on the back of Jelinek's exceedingly biased experiment, in which he based his conclusions on cherry-picked results obtained from personally chosen subjects. They worked together, using this fallacious study to build the National Council for Alcoholism and the National Institute for Alcoholism and Alcohol Abuse, which enabled them to push their agenda with the American Medical Association. This was important as one of the key contributors to NIAAA, R. Brinkley Smithers, had launched a treatment program and required acceptance of the disease concept from the medical community in order to lobby for insurance payments. They had partial success in 1956, getting the AMA to declare alcoholism an illness. The AMA would declare alcoholism a disease in 1966. Curiously, this occurred after Thomas Pike had begun to serve on both boards of the NCA and the RAND Corporation, a high-level U.S. think tank. This would begin a history of lobbying for their own self-serving interests, resulting in actual changes to law in favor of this voluntary organization. This lobbying has resulted in a culture where a judge or your employer can order you into 12-step recovery. This recovery will likely then be centered around a subtle expectation that you believe in a Christian God. Some of the first things you will then be required to adopt is the idea that you have no power to change your situation, and that in order to become a better person, you must bear all the worst things about yourself to anyone and everyone you ever did wrong to. So you're told that the only way you can help yourself is to put your trust in others. Then you're asked to show the absolute worst of yourself to those people whom you've given no reason to help you, and to do so in detail. That is, in fact, one of the steps where most commonly relapse. In most of the 12-step cultures I saw as my mother moved us from place to place, relapse largely resulted in the community shunning you, writing you off as a lost cause. This creates a situation where the people controlling your freedom and liberty are forcing you to join a religious group and basing your access to freedom and liberty upon your success in that group. On top of that, this group sets you up to fail by its requirement for continuing membership. This is a terrible solution to the problems at hand. Drinking and using drugs to excess are symptomatic of mental health issues, and if those were better addressed by society, we would see the problem in general decrease. This is already evident in countries where certain narcotics have been legalized or decriminalized. Small steps, emulated from these countries, would mitigate most complaints about users from the average person. Things like safe injection sites and needle drop boxes at public buildings have helped reduce the overall prevalence of the so-called junkie in large parts of England, where heroin has been an epidemic. Other groups have implemented long-term halfway house scenarios to prevent newly sober people from rejoining harmful social circles. These are fairly low-cost, job-creating solutions that we could put into practice in the West to better protect people. Admittedly, we all need to change our thinking on a personal level in regards to addiction and those who suffer from it. As we move towards a more secular-minded society, we can make those changes, and I feel that we will get there one day. But those are my thoughts on that, and I hope this topic wasn't too much of a downer for everyone. If you've stuck with me this far, why don't you please like and subscribe. For now, I'm the Exacto Guru, reminding you to be excellent to each other.